Okay. What? Did Samsung literally just make a phone with worse specs than last year? I'm confused. So, as you guys should have known, January 14th was the day that Samsung had quote-unquote launched the Galaxy S21 series of phones, which the event really didn't need to be there because we practically knew what the phone looked like even before 2021 began. But, well, Samsung, so they of course decided to make a whole event about it, even though we already knew exactly what it was. There was nothing new to hear. But due to some of the things we found out about the phone, they are very questionable as to whether Samsung can still make a decent phone. Here's what I mean. So, a big advantage to the new phones is that they dropped about $200 in price this year, which is a plus. I mean, it's always a plus when people save money, no doubt about that. But you can clearly tell that they did it primarily by cutting corners of making it a flagship phone. For example, the base S21, no suffix after it, base S21. We got the same plastic back like we got on the Note 20, and I'll say it is slightly more okay because we're not at $1,000, but the fact that we are still in flagship territory does not excuse the plastic. What else did we lose? Oh yeah, we lost a 1440p display that the S20 had. So despite that, yeah, it's got better colors, dynamic range, it's got variable refresh rate now. You can't really call it an upgrade because technically something was downgraded. It's more of an update. I get it, 1080p is fine. I mean, most Samsung phones come out of the box set to 1080p. My old smartphone had a 1080p display. Does it really matter? I mean, people bought the iPhone XR and the iPhone 11 and they didn't even have a 1080p display. 720p and yet they were still happy. So 1080p is not horrible, but it is a downgrade that makes you question what Samsung's got up their sleeve. And then the last major thing I can think of that was removed was the MicroSD card slot. I liked Samsung phones because of that. I guess now I don't have a reason to. Yeah, the S21 certainly got downgrades, but hey, it's $200 cheaper. Okay, so that's the S21. What about the Plus model? Better in a few ways. For example, the S21 is the only one that's got the plastic back. The S21 Plus still has the glass back. And it's actually got a pretty big screen. What was it? I believe it was 6.7 inches for display size, which is already pretty big. I mean, that's what the new iPhone 12 Pro Max display is at, but big screen for those who like it. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing as the basic S21. Other than it's slightly larger phone, bigger battery, of course, because bigger phone means you gotta put a bigger battery in it, and glass. Still no micro SD card. Then we get to the Ultra. Now, I do have to say, if I had a gun pointed at my head and I had to choose one of the three latest Samsung phones, normally I'd go for the highest end, but I think I'm going to stick to the S20 Plus. No, not Plus. 20, not 20. S21 Plus. I'll take the S21 Plus over the S21 Ultra. I hated the iPhone 11 Pro and 12 Pro camera layout design because it looks like a mess. I have to finally give that credit because, oh my God, does Samsung's S21 Ultra look awful. That is an even worse mess. Why is that? Well, we had to make room for an extra telephoto lens because, well, our periscope lens isn't exactly the greatest. So we had to put a traditional telephoto in, then add the periscope lens. On top of that, you got your standard main, and then your ultra wide, and then your unnecessarily large laser autofocus sensor. I mean, the camera bump's a mess, and despite how much I actually love the way Samsung integrated the camera bump into the phone, that is a seamless integration. I really like that design. But the camera layout is a mess! I already got mad at Apple when they did it to the iPhone 11 Pros, and that includes the 12 Pros, but oh man, Samsung, what were you thinking? So, no, I am staying away from the Ultra, even though it's got a couple of extra features, like for example, the extra telephoto lens. Why do we need 4 cameras? I'm fine with the basic 2 I have. But yeah, you got the extra camera compared to your other triple lens setups. It seems like our smartphone future holds smartphones where the entire back of a smartphone is nothing but cameras. But also the S21 Ultra got something called S Pen support. What? Now I'm even more confused. So that pretty much means the Note lineup doesn't need to be here, right? If you're gonna get a Samsung flagship with the stylus, I'd still pick the Note over the S because, yeah, now that the S21 Ultra has S Pen support, I would not get it because, first of all, there's no slot you insert the pen into. You have to get a separate case for it, and yes, the case is optional. I do not think the pen comes with the case. So pretty much, you get the pen, you gotta figure out where to store it, and there is an optional case you can get for some crazy expensive price, but once you get that, essentially you're holding your phone offset because now there's this bump at the side to make room for the S Pen. Asymmetry. Nice. I really wish they could have made the camera bump on the Ultra symmetrical because it's not. And it's hideous. At least if you exclude the flash and the time of flight sensor on the 12 Pros, you actually get rotational symmetry. But you can't get any form of symmetry on the S21 Ultra. So, yeah, interesting downgrades. Those are the biggest caveats that I see with it. But other than that, it's an update to Samsung's S phones. Are there going to be Note phones this year? I have no idea. S phones are great, but I'm always more excited for the Note phones. Well, not exactly as much as I used to, because ever since they did a Note 10 and Note 10 Plus, I'm sorry, that's not a Note. I think I am pretty happy I left Samsung because it doesn't even seem like they know what they want to do with their phones. I mean, it's nice that they cut $200 off the price tag of each compared to last year, but they did cut corners. Interesting phones. I seriously hope that they do the Note a lot better than they do the S. Alright, thank you for watching this weird, random rant of mine, I guess, because, I mean, I'm more of an iPhone person, but I do like Samsung phones as well. Just not as much as the iPhones, especially now with what Samsung did. Why did they downgrade these things? Some of the most basic features on phones? Anyway, yeah, video's over. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of the Random Alpha Network. I am still in the process of promoting that. Do me a favor and interact with the buttons below. My name is Alpha DeWolf. Random Alpha, signing out.